Well, good morning, dear friends. Here we are, Sunday, the 24th of December. I lost my glasses 8 days ago. They're due in on Tuesday. And I can see you, but I can't see facial expressions really at all. So I may be squinting. If I squint, if I do this, if I make a pinhole camera, it works very nicely. It's like, oh, I might do that a little bit. It's like, oh, there you are. Okay. But other than that, I'll just pretend I can see you. When I put these on, I can, in fact, see the computer really well. So there are the Zoom people. That's very clear. So Ari is going to do a welcome for us this morning. Please come on up and do your thing. Test one, yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ari. My pronouns are they, them. And I just want to welcome all of you to PIMC today. And I'm part of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee here at PIMC. And I wanted to just actually take a moment to talk about the book that we're going to be discussing as part of the book club. We do 3 or 4 books every year, and it's for me it's actually how I came to PIMC was through the book club. It's a really amazing chance to get to know people within the Sangha, and it provides a safe space to explore issues related to DEI that really affect all of us, regardless of who we are, what our identities are. I especially love the breakout groups in the book club. That's where I've gotten to know people better and really been able to talk about stuff that otherwise it can be very hard to talk about in our polarized society today. So the next book club is going to begin on February 6th, and it's going to meet for 4 Tuesdays from 7:30 to 9 p.m. on Zoom. So wherever you are, you're welcome to join us. And the book we're going to be doing is called The Will to Change, and it's by Bell Hooks, who was a pretty amazing and very prolific writer and social theorist who focused a lot on systems of oppression, race, class, economics, and so forth. This book is about patriarchy in society. It is not a book that denigrates men in any way. What it does instead is look at how patriarchy affects all genders. My first question of this is, as a non-binary person, how does this apply to me? It applies to everyone, just like all systems of oppression affect us all. It's a very compassionate book that looks at sort of how does each of us get affected by patriarchy, and what are options for those of us who are male or male identified and benefit from patriarchy to kind of open up emotionally and experience shifts in how we love and show up in society. This book club is also going to explore patriarchy as it relates to Buddhism. It's extremely salient topic within Buddhism and always has been. And so we're going to specifically bring in some external materials to help address that. And it should be a really interesting way to learn more about Buddhism, as well as examining patriarchy and ways for all of us to address patriarchy in society. So again, you can go to the PIMC website to learn more. And the first meeting is Tuesday, February 6th at 7:30, and we'll be meeting on Zoom. Everyone is welcome. Thank you.
Were you going to do a welcome too?
I can also, I did do a welcome.
That's what I thought you were coming up to do. Great.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. So again, all of you are welcome here, regardless of your genders, your identities. I think I've made that pretty clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. And I guess I'll do the other part that I'm called to do. This has yet to find its place on the wall, but it's a pretty important symbol of our time. It's only 100 years ago and a bit. Chief Joseph. It seems that we human beings are quite capable of dehumanizing others and of killing them wantonly. And if you haven't read his story, I encourage you to look at Google it, and you'll find that there's there's a great 10-minute video about they were driven out, the way they were driven off their land around the Wallowas. So this with the recognition that we live here on land that people before us lived on, and we're disenfranchised, and it's the way we do it as humans. And it's one of the profound benefits of this teaching, which is that maybe we won't do it again. We can rein in such impulses when they arise. So it's a little weird being blind. So this coming out there. I take refuge. Anybody here for the first time? Welcome. Glad you're here. That's a very sparkly shirt you have over there. I love the red. Anything with sparkles, I'm a total sucker for. Are they light? Are those lights? No, it's reflections of the lights. They're bright enough to be little LEDs. All right. I take refuge in being awake, the Buddha. I take refuge in what's really real. And I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of practice. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya. How's your heart rate? I will share with you from that. A few weeks ago, I went to New Jersey, and about 45 minutes after taking off, I suddenly became instantly remarkably nauseated. And 10 seconds later, I had to vomit. There was no bag. So I brilliantly, tightly put my hand over my mouth and sprayed. It was, it was grotesque. it was, it was wild, and I had an inflatable thing you can lie on, and that was totally covered. And Jennifer got a good dose, and the guy to my right got a little bit. He later said, "Don't worry, I'm a nurse anesthetist. This is nothing for me." However, the staff came and everyone helped, and a woman 3 rows back gave me a shirt, which I was able to go in the restroom, and it was quite touching. And the thing I wanted to say that was really remarkable to me was there was not 1 second of shame. It didn't arise. I mean, it was nothing, there was no intention. It was completely out of my control, except putting my hand over my mouth. But I was fascinated by that. It's like, maybe this Dharma practice really does create some pretty deep changes. Well, let's sit for a while and do what do something, do nothing, do... There are a few useful facts. One is we're not here for very long. Another is we haven't the least idea where we came from, nor where we go. We also have no idea when the departure will be. Could be now. Could be tomorrow or next week, a few years. Something else that we could really know, really it's about all we can know, which is what we're experiencing in this moment. And so let's notice sitting here, touching the cushion or the floor. Let us notice the aliveness in the hands, in the fingers, in the face. And if there's tension in the face, see about letting it go in the forehead, the eyebrows, the jaw. And now, ever since that first moment of your birth, there's been this in-breathing and out-breathing. And let's take that as our home base. In the midst of the cacophony of life, the absolute insanity of the human mind added in there, come home to this actual experience of in and out breathing, either at the nostrils or at the chest and abdomen. we are cultivating something in consciousness. In a way, we're building something. It's intangible but real. The steps are known as initiating the intention to stay with the breath. Targeting in a way. And then sustaining that when we can. And a kind of one-pointedness will emerge sometimes. We could call that concentration. It suppresses the 5 hindrances. It gives calm to the mind. And so we simply continue with that. When the mind wanders, we begin with initial application, sustained application, and then we rest or abide in the experience of breathing. Of course, the mind really does have a mind of its own and wanders off to this and that. This is not a failure, it's not a problem, it's just what it does. There may well be visits from the 5 hindrances. Everyone has them. There could be desire, wanting something. I want, I want. There could be aversion, the disliking of something. I don't want, I don't like. There could be restlessness and agitation and worry. There could be sleepy dullness, sloth and torpor. There could be doubt. Doubt, despair, dispiritedness. None of these are actually personal. They sure feel it. But mindfulness comes from a place infinitely more vast, infinitely more profound than these mere hindrances. So when some hindrance is up, please turn toward it. Really study it, feel it fully, die into it. Each breath has a beginning, a rising to fullness, and an ending. It may seem repetitive to hear this, but it's more profoundly true than is easily seen. So is every thought, has a beginning, middle, and ending. Every relationship, every sickness, every period of health. Civilizations come and go. So we are sitting right here at the center of reality, the truth, glaring, blazing at us moment to moment with the brilliance of a million suns, said one great Thai master. And in our attention to breathing, we go way beyond any image of the breath, any idea of breathing. In fact, mindful awareness and concentration join with the actual sensations. They become one phenomenon. The Buddha called this bare attention. It's attention without interpretation, like a laser beam shined on a wall. It's just, this is what's happening. So come home. Come home to the breathing as it is, real, tangible, alive. Please now allow awareness to inhabit the buttocks, the legs, the thighs, the hands. Notice the life in the shoulders and the neck and the throat. Notice the cavity of the mouth, space between the tongue and the roof of the mouth. And notice how it is to press the tongue up into that cavity and make it disappear. Contact. And then noticing the life of the lips, the cheeks, the eyes, forehead. And now noticing the intention, the plan to open the eyes and then let that intention happen. Takes effort. Takes effort, and then there's seeing. Seeing. Seeing and as I like to do, inviting you to look around the room, make contact, make eye contact. There you go. Seeing, hello. I see faces with eyes and a nose, I think. Here on the screen, it's pretty clear. Good morning. Well, I have a little announcing to do. I think I can pull that off. Let me see how I would do it here. Here it is. Move this right up beside here. Come on now. It's this one. Okay, here. All right, here we go. This should make it much more simple and efficient. It should. It's not yet. Nope, that's not it. Stop share. This is it. Share. Aha, it worked. So here's a few upcoming things, my friends. You can find these on the website yourself. The way out is in is over. Qigong and Mindful Movement happens Saturday, January the 6th with Jim Dalton, who will be on here in a moment. Classes at PIMC starting in January 11th. An introduction to heart cultivation, Doug Pullen. And then, hot off the press, Invitation to Joy with Robert Beatty, 8 Wednesdays starting the 17th. I was going to teach a completely different class, and I had a conversation with Mish Makazi, one of our teacher trainees, and she said, I'm gonna go read my book. She said, my very favorite book, it's a conversation between Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama. And I looked at it, and it's a wonderful book. And loving kindness practice fits into it, and forgiveness. And so it will be a class of learning to live more joyfully in the present moment. There's that. And then here's this, candles, women's restoration and rejuvenation. There's 4 sessions. You can find that on the website too. And then the DEI movie night, February 3rd, Wandering But Not Lost. So there we are. That is the announcements. Just in case, I had a couple of late cancellations for my retreat, a week-long retreat. I think, no, it's 5 days, at Manuka, January 5th. If you're anxious to do a retreat, I think it is full now again, but if you were anxious, you could do that. But there's space in the one in February, 1 or 2 spaces. So that said, anything else I should say? Mr. Paul. Okay.
If anybody is interested in helping Robert to do the class, the broadcast assistant, sorry, I didn't move the camera. He could really use some help with the Zoom broadcast for the class. So you'd have to talk to me for a little bit of training. It's not a lot, but we're definitely looking for more people to help with the broadcast assistance in general. Thank you.
And you get to brush shoulders with Robert, who is very appreciative if you're doing that. Let me tell you, this is not censoring. I would say this: doing hybrid classes is a royal pain in the ass, because one little switch not working and it's a mess. Paul's created the system significantly. So anyway, however, how many people do we have? We have 26 people out there in Zoom land right now who otherwise could not participate. So it's important. So don't feel guilty about it being a pain in the ass, all right? It's well worth doing. Don't feel guilty. All right. Jim's going to do a little movement. I'm going to come back, and we're going to do a little ceremony and a guided meditation and maybe questions. Okay. Come back soon, Robert. For you, sir, it's turned off.
All right. So here I am on the screen. Here I am in this space. Welcome to this space. Bring your attention into your feet, please. And then say thank you to all the sensors and monitors that are activated when you shift your weight. Say thank you to this intelligence built into this amazing body. We know where we are in space partly by the sensations in the feet. Of course, there's also visual monitors, and how our head is set on the neck, shoulders, is monitored by other intelligences. So thank you for this system. And then thank you for the ability to stand another day, sink, and let your arms float up, and try to be attentive to all the changes in the gesture. There's sensations through the arm, from the shoulder down to the fingertips. And they're constantly changing. So if we want a lesson in impermanence, the body is ready and willing to teach us. This is how we move, by changing and letting go. Changing and letting go. Lifting, opening, changing in another dimension. But every move is over by the time we get back to the center. Every descent is over as we sink. There's a beginning, a little journey, a journey in impermanence. And there's a return, another journey. Letting go of this, letting go of this, letting go of this. Intending to lift. Intending to open. Returning. And intending to sink. Intending to lift overhead. Painting a rainbow across here. We're done. We start. And we know we're done. And we start. Changing. Letting go. Sinking. Crossing the wrists, intending to lift. Journey of change upward, a journey of change outward. Thankful for the flexibility of joints. Each one joyfully participating in a simple gesture. Now, intending to move one hand palm up, another hand, palm forward. Change. Turn. Lift. Releasing. Feeling the contact with the earth, and then rotating, lifting back, overhead and down. Thank you. Joints and ligaments and tendons that slide. Lifting across, the heel comes up. The journey starts for the other hand and the journey back. Releasing, lifting out, releasing down, intending to lift, intending to release. And then pausing to just feel the stillness, intending to be silent and still. Thank you very much. See you next time.
It's my birthday. Not all cultures celebrate birthdays. It's a very interesting structure. It's a concept, an idea. And I do want to do a little ritual that Ruth Dennison did on her birthday here in this room a couple of times. But there's a couple of things I wanted to say, I think. Sure wish I could see you. It's awkward. Well, I think I'd like to begin with a short guided meditation. If you'll sit comfortably upright. And I think if we put a title on this, it would be, who are you? Or where are you? What are you? So please become aware of the body where it touches the chair. Become aware of the life in the hands. The life in the face. Become aware of the body. There isn't really even a body, is there? There's sensations. There's what we call hands, but there's really no such thing as hands. There's sensations. You can become aware of sound, hearing. Where does hearing happen? Can you tell? We say, well, it's in my ears, but is that your experience? Hearing happens in consciousness. There's a bunch of mechanisms that we understand a little bit of how it happens, from vibrations in the air to the eardrum vibrating to all those little bones moving just right, and then the deep inside sensing organ. But then hearing happens. Who's hearing? Is it really I'm hearing or you hearing? Is that really true? Is that your experience? Or is there perhaps just hearing? Please come home to the life in the face, the sensations of face. Is there a face? Really? Is it the face you see in the mirror in the morning? That's an idea, isn't it, from here? Notice the life in what we call the face, in the forehead and the eyebrows. In the cheeks and lips. tongue. Where is this experienced? And let's for a moment take up the story of your lifetime, where you were born, who you were born to, who your siblings were or are. And think of one of the most wonderful things that ever happened to you in your life. Delight in that, maybe. Where is that experienced? Does it have a location? Or does it just somehow exist as thoughts and memories? Are these thoughts you? Are they who you are? Please imagine some future event, something that maybe something you're looking forward to. Can't wait for this to happen. Or something you're afraid of in the future. Where does it exist? It's in mind, isn't it? And where does mind occur? And if we try to approach these questions intellectually, there's a popular thing, well, mind is in the brain. Is that an experience or is that an idea? It's an idea. You have no idea where consciousness exists. That it does is experienceable. And please now let's come back to the body that sits and breathes. And allowing awareness to come into the eyes. And noticing the intention to open the eyes. And then operationalizing that, and then notice what happens, how seeing begins. And then there's that question, where does seeing happen? Who is seeing? Hmm. Hmm. So I would like to invite to the altar of our hearts Ruth Dennison, who made a habit during her birthday month of October. Everywhere she went, she celebrated her birthday. It's quite funny. But there was a particular practice that she did. Oh, there's a contextual thing. It's funny, sometimes when I'm giving Dharma talks, I feel so brilliant. Today, I feel rather dull. It's like, where's the intelligence? But what I want to say is, I think very simple. Who would you be if you didn't have a birthday every year? Would you stay the same age? What if that wasn't an issue? What if, just see if we can feel our way into, what if there's no birthdays at all? Nobody has birthdays. It's a big culture. It's a big cultural thing. It's like, you are. And you know, when someone dies, this was their birth date and this was their death date. What if we just imagine letting go of all of that? And we're just here. It's almost, probably is unimaginable. It's so deep in us. I know I've been present through the time indoctrination of 2 children, my bio kids. I've had 5 stepkids. But my bio kids, I watched as we beat into them for several years. We're going to be late. Hurry up. You can do this in 2 minutes. We trained them to have time. And it's a very interesting thing that we create time, because time doesn't exist at all. But we have this imagination that we share. We all wear these little digital things, but as soon as we move into simple presence, there's no such thing as time. And as soon as we can notice that the past is a class of thoughts and the future is another class of thoughts, that does quite a number on time too. Funny, the memories. You've probably waited a long time for an airplane somewhere, sometime. I remember a long time ago, we waited 3 days for our flight. We were in a little town, I forget what it's called. You go from Kathmandu to I forget. It's in the Terai, in the jungle area, and then we were flying from there to Simacot, which is up very high in the Himalayas. The runway's at 11,000 feet. It's a very scary runway, actually. It starts on a downhill. It's like you come over the houses, and there's a downhill, and at the far end there's a mountain. There is no way to touch and go. You must. Once you commit to landing, you got to land. And we landed hard, and man, boom, but we did survive. Anyway, past and future. There's just now. Strange concept or strange reality. So today is, quote, my birthday. Robert Beatty was born. I just had a funny thought. What if you found out that it was the wrong day? That your whole life you'd been celebrating your birthday on the wrong day? I suppose that would be different than discovering you were the wrong person. Anyway, the little ritual goes like this. You know that we have our traditional song, Happy Birthday to You, that one. Well, there's another song that Ruth, I don't know if she created it, but it's really fun. And it goes like this. I will stand up and come and help a couple of people up. You help a couple more people up. And then once we're all up, we will sing this song to each other. And it has some hand gestures. It's, you reach out and hold hands for a moment. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. And then we spin to the right. Every day are we born. And the left, every day are we free. And the grammar is wrong, but that's the grammar that Ruth used. So it persists. It's a sacred, the master did it this way. So of course we do it this way. And of course, this is a very, in a way, a sophisticated and maybe advanced mindfulness practice, because can you remain mindful? Can you be aware? Here I am, I'm meeting, we're wishing each other, what's a loving kindness practice? We're wishing each other well, and we're allowing ourselves to wish for ourselves. May I be happy on this birthday, which is always the same moment. It's always the moment of birth. Right? We're always dying and being born every nanosecond. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. When someone comes to help you up, just put your hand over your heart, okay? And but you can participate just as well by sitting down. Any question? No? Okay. I will help a couple of people up, and then we'll go from there. Hmm. Oh, and please, let's have some of us go up. The people, what are we going to do with the camera, Paul? We could put it here and have people, okay. And when you come up here, you can use this mic, and then we'll all hear you, and the people at a distance will hear you, okay? And this is where oh, you're going to bring this back, Paul? You're going to bring the camera back? Okay. No. Satan be gone. So I will begin with KB. So we just reach out and take hands. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Clockwise. Every day are we born. Counterclockwise. Every day are we free. Onto a new partner. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Other way. Every day are we free. New partner. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Don't forget our friends in the other world. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. I love you right back. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Anybody left over? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. One more just for good luck. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Every day are we born. Every day are we free. Thank you, dear Ruth Dennison. Well, I received a poem this morning from Zana. Susanna, what's her last name? I forget. Hang on here. With the glasses, here they are. She lives in Costa Rica. Jen and I visited her last year. Zana Rain. And I read this poem. I was so moved by it, and it doesn't fit with the birthday thing, but it fits with the love thing very beautifully. So I wanted to share it with you. It's very touching. dry. Anyway, it's a poem by Heidi Priebe, Priebe. Actually, I just made a connection. All of the yous that have existed down through these decades, a lot of them are gone, aren't they? The you that did this, the you that did that, the you that would never do this. So this has to do with loving oneself as well as loving another. To love someone long term is to attend 1,000 funerals of the person they used to be. The people they're too exhausted to be any longer. The people they don't recognize inside themselves anymore. The people they grew out of. The people they never ended up growing into. We so badly want the people we love to get their spark back when it burns out, to become speedily found when they are lost. But it is not our job to hold anyone accountable to the people they used to be. It is our job to travel with them between each version and to honor what emerges along the way. Sometimes it will be an even more luminescent flame. Sometimes it will be a flicker that disappears and temporarily floods the room with a perfect and necessary darkness. To love someone long term is to attend 1,000 funerals of the people they used to be. To love oneself long term is to attend 1,000 funerals of the self you used to be. The people you're too exhausted to be anymore, the person you're too exhausted to be anymore, the person you don't recognize inside yourself anymore, the person you grew out of, the person you never ended up growing into. We so badly want the people we love to get their spark back when it burns out, to become speedily found when they are lost. But it is not our job to hold anyone accountable to the person they used to be. It is our job to travel with each of them between each version and to honor what emerges along the way. Sometimes it will be an even more luminescent flame. Sometimes it will be a flicker that disappears and temporarily floods the room with a perfect and necessary darkness. It is our job to travel with each of them between each version and to honor what emerges along the way. Sometimes it will be an even more luminescent flame. Sometimes it will be a flicker that disappears and temporarily floods the room with a perfect and necessary darkness. Hmm. 26 years ago, Mr. Dalton, we had a party at Dharma Rain Zen Center, my 50th birthday. And I had I forget how it came on. I had an announcement I wanted to make, and our then treasurer was, he was afraid that I was saying that I was retiring. And it was quite different from that. It was that I was going to pour even more coal on that particular fire. And here we are, 26 years later. I am 76 years old. What? Did you hear that? How did that happen? How did that happen? What does it mean? It's a strange thing. I'm older than my father got to. He did have a very difficult life with health issues and alcohol and smoking. Quite amazing that he lived so long, actually. And I wonder, yeah, I could do that. I've had an idea this morning of what to do, what to say. Let's try this. It's a little bit of a stretch, but why not? Fingers get very stiff. Though I must say, both hands are much better after carpal tunnel surgery. About a year ago, I had both done, and boy, what a difference. Used to be I'd be playing the guitar and then my fingers would go completely numb, which doesn't work very well at all. Please take a comfortable upright posture, my friends. Not rigid. All that exists is the present moment. However, and in the present moment, live all of the memories that have happened, you've made in this lifetime. They're alive in a way. They're constantly changing. We are leaving our time now. We're going back in time, or sideways in time, or forwards in time, or maybe somewhere completely outside of time. We certainly are going to time, or to a place, or to a way of being that predates the time of everyone having a digital number flashing in every room of the house all night. We're going to a time in which your imagination is of great importance. And you can leave your body here if you like. It'll be safe. We'll take good care of you. In fact, anywhere you wander to in this little journey, we're going to take this voice, this sound of the guitar will always be with you. There's a story. There's a story we all have. It's called the story of my birth. And your story might be a very pleasant one. And it might be one in which there was pain. You may have been a very wanted baby, or maybe a not wanted baby. Your parents may have been together or separated, or maybe they only knew each other for a few days even, or a night. But however it is you came into the world, it's true you did come into the world. You were the most vulnerable little human being ever. Just like we all are. Just like the Buddha was. It wasn't certain when you emerged, it wasn't even certain that you'd breathe, but you did. And you have continued to breathe ever since, and will continue until the day you die. In fact, that's the great sign, isn't it? Oh, breathing has stopped. One of the things we do in our practice is take refuge in the Buddha. We take refuge in that which is outside of time, in that which is all awake, all loving. And what if you were to imagine that sitting in your heart right here was a golden Buddha, and this golden Buddha was an extension of all the love in the universe, a manifestation thereof. Maybe it's a Kuan Yin. Whatever it is, it's an aspect of you that really knows about love. And why don't you let this part of you hold you now, or maybe extend to you warm rays of love in gold or white or blue or yellow colors, flowing with no resistance from your heart to your body, to all of your psychological issues, your strengths, your weaknesses. You have within you all the love in the universe. That's why the Buddha says that the Brahma Viharas, the abode of the gods, loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity are all illimitable. There is no limit to them. And what if you were to imagine that this golden Buddha in your heart has been with you always? And what if you could imagine, which of course you can if you wish, that this golden Buddha, this all-loving Kuan Yin, this whatever archetypal figure you'd like it to be, has been with you since the beginning, has been with you since conception. Imagine being present at your own conception. Celebrate, hold yourself. You go from 2 cells meeting to 4 to 8 to 16. Somehow you become a little baby and you get born. Imagine being there at your birth, being there as a being of love and light, a being with no fear, you might even discover that you can hold yourself right after birth. Maybe yours could be the first hands on that baby. You take this baby and hold them against your heart, your naked skin against their naked skin. What is it you want to say to that baby? What is it you want to say to yourself about having been born? I'm so glad you were born. I love you. I'll always be here for you. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, don't even try to be perfect. It's pointless. I will do my best to protect you. And whatever else it is that you've always wanted and needed to hear. What have you always wanted someone to say to you? You can say it to yourself now. And you know the story of your life. It changes over time, but you know it. Why don't you be there at your first birthday or your second birthday? Hold yourself. Or at least stand in the corner of the room to be witness to everything that happens. Be present for this child as they turn 3 and 4 and 5. Who knows what's happened in you? You know, at least you have a story of what happened in your life in the first few years. Is there some time when you really needed some support that you didn't get it? Well, now's the time to give it to yourself. What is it that you wanted to hear? I love you. You want to be held. You want to be protected. You want to run. Let yourself hold yourself at age 5. All that work at school, learning to read, having friends, having enemies, having bullies, maybe excelling in school or struggling to keep up with the class. Let the Buddha be with you. Let yourself be with you. I love you. What is it you want to hear at age 6 and 7 and 8 and 9? How about when you hit puberty? What is it you have always wanted to hear, and let yourself hear it? And as this being of golden light from the heart, at the very least, you might say to yourself, I'll always be here. No matter how hard things get. No matter how challenged, no matter how unimportant you feel, no matter how anxious, how depressed, I will always be here. Hold yourself. And then, of course, there was high school and all the complications there, perhaps falling in love and getting your heart broken. And maybe there was college, maybe there were siblings, maybe the sibling relationships were good and easy and nourishing, or maybe they were really hard. Be there as a friend for yourself in all and every circumstance. Be there as a friend with great wisdom and compassion. Sometimes the message goes like this: don't worry. This is just the first few years of your life. There's much more to come. Set yourself free. And go forward in time. What did you do after high school or college? Where or when were the times when you really wanted someone who could understand you? Be there. Be as articulate as you can be or want to be. And many of us have had some kind of trauma, moderate to severe to minor, without opening the door to the trauma too much. Take a peek in as the Buddha, as Kuan Yin. Be there for yourself. Imagine how it would have been in that time then to have some luminous being walk in the door or appear in your heart and say, I'm here for you. I'm here, I'll always be here. You've had people die. You've had pets die. You've had dreams come and go, some to fruition, some to catastrophe. Always, you can always be there with yourself as the Kuan Yin or Buddha. And this can spring up spontaneously now whenever the going gets rough. Be right here with yourself right now. Admire, be grateful for yourself. Look at you. You got up on a Sunday morning to go meditate. The greatest gift you can give the world and yourself and your loved ones. And from this present moment, one thing we know we can look forward to is death. You could be there then too. Hold your own hand. What is it that you might like to say? I'm sure among them is I love you, and you've done a fine job in this lifetime. I love you. Set yourself free. And everything that happens between now and then, you can on occasion or be spontaneously reminded of the golden Buddha in your heart. Sometime when you're frightened or lonely, sick, when you have a sick one in the hospital maybe. And never forget the I love you mantra with your own name at the end. Don't hesitate to use it. There's an infinite amount of it available. I love you. I'm here for you. I intend to be with you through the entirety of this suffering. And this golden Buddha, Kuan Yin figure in your heart might expand and become exactly contiguous with your skin, or might shrink back into the minuteness of being. However it is, it's always with you. And one last thought. As your Dharma practice ripens, it's quite probable that the most nourishing, loving, profound experiences and relationships of your life still lie ahead. Especially as you bring the Buddha Kuan Yin loving part of you into bear. Never believe the notion that, well, it's almost over, there's nothing I can do. Because freedom occurs in one heartbeat, and love is available in every moment if we just remember. So coming home now to your body where it sits and breathes. Can you love the breath? It's been supporting you all this time, mostly without any thank you. And we could dedicate the merit of our time together in this way to all beings. May all beings everywhere share in the merits of our practice. May all beings everywhere have enough to eat. And may all beings discover the great benefits of being kind to each other. Sabbe Sankara Anicca, said the Buddha. All component things are impermanent. And please now let your eyes open slowly, seeing. Seeing. Who is seeing? Maybe there's just seeing. Well, we have just a few minutes. I'm surprised. Is there anyone who would like to say anything or ask a question or anything? We have about 7 minutes. If you did have that impulse, you could put up your hand and I will bring you, or someone will bring you this microphone. And it doesn't work if you talk in the side, but it really works if you speak into the top. Bro. And there's a little button on the bottom. If it's red, I'll just leave it on. Well, my dear friends, thanks for coming today. We'll meet again on New Year's Eve day. Not New Year's Eve night, though. That didn't come together this year. So let us make a big circle. Pack in up here some so the folks at home can see us. And we'll close with our usual ritual. Oh, a question. In the chat, okay. You want to read it to me?
Oh, it came to me, sorry.
Oh, okay.
What is the kindest thing we can say to someone who is suffering?
Get over it. Next. I don't know that it's even something we say. It's actually our capacity to be present with. It's like if a person's sad, it looks like you're really sad. Oh, right. What's the kindest thing we can say to someone who's really suffering? It's just to be there with such a person. I see that you're really hurting. I see that you're really hurting. Ugh. I'm not running away. I'm willing to open my heart to you. I mean, that's kind of hokey language, but the message is, I'm willing to be here. Which is, of course, I am getting to have some hours a week with my now 5-month-old granddaughter, and she goes through every emotion in the book in a few hours. I mean, she is so full of rage sometimes, it's freaked out, and oh no, no one's ever been here for me, and then she's just blissed out. But what does she need? I'm here. I'm here, and I'm going to try to figure out what's the pain right now. And if I can, I will alleviate it. And if I can't, I will still be here and breathe with you. That's what we need, right? I think we could call it love. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to run because you're hurting. Which does prompt me to say, there's enough suffering in 5 minutes on the internet to blow most of us completely out of our core. And so our system will shut down, will become impervious to suffering. But it doesn't make sense to try to be open to everybody's suffering all the time, everywhere, because it'll fry us. So we pick our places where we open and serve, and of course the people closest to us really need our compassion. They don't need our sympathy, which means we don't have to vibrate at the same frequency that they are. If you're with someone who's very anxious, it won't help to get anxious with them. If you're with someone who's really depressed, it won't help to get depressed with them. What will help is staying clear and centered and acknowledging, oh, I see that you're really suffering. I'm here. And profoundly with ourselves. Yeah. I had an insight just a couple of days ago how my training to be compassionate began within minutes of my birth with my mother. And a lot of my life's work has been learning to continue to do that, but not to get eaten by it. And it does require lowering the drawbridge or pulling up the drawbridge and dropping the portcullis sometimes in order to just have what's here to deal with, because it's so easy to get destabilized into being overly eaten. So that said, let's make a big circle coming up here so that the people at home can see us. Some of us up here anyway. I guess we couldn't all fit in here, no. We'll just... I don't know it. You want to lead us? Okay. So, it's a squeaky spot right there. May all beings everywhere share in the merits of our practice here today. Bhavatu Sabbe Mangalam, may all beings receive all blessings. And sadhu, 3 times each. Sadhu is well done. It is thus. Bhavatu Sabbe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabbe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabbe Mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And now the great test. One more time we get to do this in 2023. We are in a circle. Is this circle permanent or impermanent? What are your bids? Anybody gonna go for permanent? I mean, you'll be the only one that's been right ever. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah, it's impermanent again. How do you like that? So have a lovely Christmas if that's what you're doing, and may there be peace in your homes and in your hearts. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Happy birthday
To me.
Happy birthday, dear Robert. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you all. Thanks for coming. Nice party.